Hey, and welcome to another Structureless video. In today's video, I'm going to hopefully be explaining the Structureless Superflat multi-item sorter that I have behind me. It's cart based because, well, of course it is, and there's a lot of interesting tech that goes into this, including tech that made me find out how to sort every single signal strength fill level of a cart, which I will touch on briefly while explaining this, just because it's kind of cool, but I will have my own dedicated video for those. So anyway, let me jump into it. This is the actual sorter itself. You have your output down here, and you have some overflow found right here. Something I do want to point out, just because it's going to be really difficult to show without knocking the carts in here, is these carts are over both of these hoppers, meaning your outputs will be split between the chests, kind of like this. Hang on, this is a better example. So you can see some of these stacked to 32, and that's just because they go into them. Anyway, speaking of which, let's grab some of these items. That's probably way too many. I don't think we have any sorted of that when I tested it. And we'll grab a few non-sorted as well. So I'm going to hopefully try and walk through this as it works, but it's been a little while since I looked at it, so yeah, I might jump around a little bit. But so you'd start off by taking as many carts as you want to use out of the barrel, because obviously Structureless Superflat, we can't have dispensers. So you'd fill up one with however full you need to fill it, and then you can do another one if you want to, because it's had stacked cart separation, so you can send multiple carts into there. And I'm gonna tick freeze, only because what's about to happen happens relatively quickly, and I need to explain a lot in a very short amount of time, so yeah. I also removed the waypoint over there. That was going to get very annoying if it was going to stay. So yes, you hit this button to start, and if I just turn on this so I don't trigger anything in here, you'll see that the carts stay here, and if we, you know what, we'll take step, why not? You'll see they go into this carton stacker, and this light will turn on. Now these are different fill levels, so they look very separated, but like they're not really, but this isn't how the stack separation works anyway. So this was made by Cat, by the way. I just slightly modified it, mainly down here, just for what I wanted, and the way this return works is a bit quicker now, but yeah, all credit goes to that. So if we take step another second, perfect. I literally couldn't have timed that any better. You can see that we've now split both the carts, and the reason why is this one fell into the mud, so it clipped through the trapdoor while hitting the pressure plate, and the trapdoor stops this one from clipping into the mud, so it can't snap to the rail. And then we just have a flowing water here to push this cart, which I will now show will do a few things. Again, my timing on that was very good. So it's now parked itself right here, on top of a variable filter we can find below, like so. Again, my timing was perfect, it's got one item. So it has 4 blockers and then our filter item. This will eventually move to this slot, but that's not important. What has also happened is, it's so compact. As the cart was coming up this rail, it hit this tripwire, and somewhere along this line, you'll see that it has started a chain reaction of a timer that is just long enough so that the hopper minecart picks up 60 64 items. I wanted to say 63 for a second. Where are we in this loop? Perfect, here we go. So this dust has just turned off, and this one needs to go again. So if I was to hypothetically skip, let's say 58, let's play it safe. Wow, there we go. So, as it happens, there was only one barrel in this car. So we're only going to be sorting one. So if we go again, I'm just going to manually freeze it here. What has happened now is this cart is completely empty. If there were more than one barrel, it would be unloading them now into the cart down here. With that being said, this cart, as we're about to see, will stop on this trapdoor. I'll explain why in just a second. Also, that needs to be removed from testing. Yeah, so if I'm gonna unfreeze, and then we'll freeze it again. About there. So, we have this cart waiting here. It will make sense why in a second. And we have this cart that's now got the filter item in the first slot, and then all the blockers here. It is going to go under this chest and see if there's a match, which in the case of our barrel, there will be. So, it'll unlock the cart because it's currently locked, but yeah, it will unlock it. So if I unfreeze and freeze, you can see we still have our barrel in here, but we have also just unloaded one into here. The way carts work, this looks odd because it's not actually over this hopper, but in the game tick I freezed it, it is. So yeah, don't worry about that. And we've also lost the barrel from this chest. Now you may be wondering, without comparators, how the hell are you supposed to know if you've taken an item out of a chest? Well, boy do I have the solution for you. What we're gonna do is we're gonna completely empty this cart. You see, I can't actually explain this in this current state. If there was only one item in this cart, after it went under the chest, it will be put into this hopper, so it will actually look like this. Completely empty. We are then going to remove all of the filter items, like so. But because this one is here, what we're going to witness is unfreeze. This happens a lot quicker. I nudged the cart. When it was here, I nudged it, so it slowed down. This cart is now completely empty. Why is it empty? Oh, because yeah, okay, hang on. See, this is why I hate dealing with anything to do with cards. Let's pretend like that just happened, and this still has this. If you don't believe me that this is reliable, you'll see it happen not hundreds of times, but you'll see it happen a couple dozen times as we run this later. But regardless, ignore that minor fault. So that cart now has one item. What it's going to do is go into this is empty check. Without going into, and I mean this very, very seriously, a massive amount of detail, this makes this cart have a very, very, very specific motion value, which, because of the fill level of it, the friction modifier applied to this cart won't be enough to send it up here, because it has an item. Now, if you understand that, great. If not, I'm gonna simplify it, but it might not make as much sense. I can't really think of a way to properly explain this, so yes, bear with me. Essentially, the weight of this car, if you think about the fact it has a barrel in it, it will physically weigh more. So it cannot get enough momentum to go up this rail. And it's going to roll back down and curve and go all the way up to the top here and put the item back in the chest. If it was empty, it would be lighter, so it can go up. I mean, that is the best way I can explain this. So yeah, we'll watch that in practice. Unfreeze, and it won't make it. And wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Freeze! Oh, yes, perfect. As we can see, it has now hit this pressure plate again with the game tick. I've freezed it. It doesn't make sense that it should, but it is. Ignore that minor fact. This is now set a latch to trigger this rail. So you can see on these ones, it'll be triggered to go to the next slice. However, because there was a match, we've triggered it to go straight back to the start. What this has also done is triggered this to send the output car into the unloader for this slice. And of course, we've put our barrel back in. So if I play this, you can see we also put our filter item and our blocker items back in. Now, perfect. This car has now hit this pressure plate, which has closed this trapdoor, so that by the time this cart goes past, this can then fall into another is empty check to see if we need to send a new cart from the stack, which we won't because this is far from empty. And we have also, in here, put our item into this cart, and we're just about to send it, as you can see. So if I show that, you can see we have just started unloading it, and in the same time this cart has come down and we're going to check if it's empty, which again it's not. So unfreeze, freeze it. This is a slightly different layout for it, but it's the same idea. As this cart is going to go up here again, it's going to start the entire cycle all over again, because as you can see, this cart is now empty, assigned as a filter. And there's our barrel. So I am going to just let this play. Something else that's going to happen as well is this will reset. So hang on, unfreeze. There you go, this resets. But we'll let this play. Hopefully that took more than one item. It did not. What did it take? It's going to be it's a non-stackable. So this can show the non-sorted. So if it bypasses everything, which it will do, this is the slowest part of the entire thing. But as you can see, we just check it every single time. And we check if it's empty every single time, which it will be because there's never a match. What we'll do, and as you can see, it's like the momentum problem was because I nudged it, so yeah. What we'll do is we'll send it back, and you'll see this cart come along, and it'll go to the unsorted, which again, it needs to unload a maximum of 64 items, so it takes a while here. And there's our chest cart. This is now going to repeat repeatedly, surprisingly. I think it did another chest cart. You know what? I'm going to manually make it do a large thing next. So we'll let this run. As it does, I'll explain one thing too. When the cart is empty down here, it will come up, hit the pressure plate to send another one from the stack, break it and put it right back into this barrel for the player to use again. There is also a playerless version of this, but we'll get to that in a second, because this is now about to actually do something interesting. Right, took long enough. So we have our one filter item, the rest in here, and we're going to unload them all into this one, which you'll see now. That should probably be long enough. 63, there you go. So if I unfreeze this, it will obviously do the whole thing again. There's going to be a match in this slice, so it's going to unload it into here. I'm just going to speed this up like a lot. You know what, more than that. This isn't going to do that, but it'll go way quicker. It's not actually running at 1,200 ticks a second, it's running at like 500, but that's not the point. I'll let this run. As you can see, we've now used the second cart out of the stack, so our light is turned off. This will keep running. This does take a while, but it's pretty decently fast for what's going on here. There, and we're done. Because when it's empty, it only wants to see if there's another cart to be taken. It will try. If there is no cart, the cycle doesn't repeat, so it automatically stops itself. And just for a sanity check, in here, completely empty. And in this one, completely empty. So there you go. And in all of these will be our sorted output. There we go. Wow, it's almost like that's how it's supposed to function. Now, I did say that I would very quickly touch on the subject of fill level sorting for the cards. And I'm going to. Again, I'm not going to explain the full thing because that isn't what this video is about, but I think it's interesting to show anyway, and I have to show you the Playerless version of this too, so stick around for a second, or don't. It's completely up to you. First of all, the Playerless version, because it's on topic with the actual video. So this is what I'm going to be using in my main storage, because obviously I don't want to manually be putting things into my multi-item sorter, and this will be the last process in the sorting cycle because it's so slow. All it is it's the same thing, it's just the button is now a redstone line, the lamp is now a redstone line, the input is now a rail line, and the output of empty carts is also just a rail line. The rest of it is completely the same. There is no point me explaining literally anything else. Sorry. There is one other difference. It's gonna blow your mind. This one has a different block palette. Oh my god. No, I should be a bit more serious. That is literally everything different with this. Like, some of the wiring here is slightly different to make this work, but that's literally it. So, fill level sorting. A fun little quirk of cards that I found out. I should point out this isn't new information, but it's interesting, so I'm going to cover it because it's somewhat related to that monstrosity. Essentially, the one we used is a variation of this. This is a much smaller version. However, if I go like this and I summon one with 0, you can see it goes to 0 output. If I summon one with anything higher, so literally 1, you can see it goes to the green output. Wow. And with some really odd configurations of blocks and a lot of quirkiness with how blocks interact with things, I managed to make every single signal strength sortable. So this is, what's this, 12. So again, if I do 1, you can see it goes to the red. But if I do, say, I don't know, 13, it'll go to the green because it's too heavy to get up that rail there. This one's just for 15, so absolutely nothing apart from 15 will go through, so, you know, there's 13, and we'll do 1, and you know what, we'll do 10. Oh my goodness, it's 10. And then we'll do 15, and you'll see that it will actually sort 15. And with this, again, I'm not going to touch on it much because I want to make my own video about this anyway. I made an entire sorter with all of these combined that sorts every single signal strength of car all in one. So that's kinda cool. And then I proceeded to test every single one individually right over there for many hours. Oh yes, something I want to point out, these are directional, that's why the north sign is there. They only work if they face north or east, due to the fact if I pull up F3, if you look at the targeted block, you can see that the shape is north-south. And if I look at this rail, you can see it's east-west. The direction that's labelled first in that is where the momentum of the cart will be transferred first. So even if it's going into this rail, all the momentum is going to go east first into this block. So it stops. Whereas if this was flipped, the momentum would gain and still continue that way, and it wouldn't lose anything. And due to precise, what's it called? Momentums, I wanted this to always just halt the carts at 0 and start again. So yeah, these 3 rails aren't actually necessary, but it wasn't immediately clear if I just left it at that. Anyway, that is all I have for you today, and I promise videos will be coming more soon. I haven't taken a break or anything. I heard a few people saying that. I don't know. I haven't lost motivation for YouTube necessarily, but it's just not a major priority for me at the moment. You know, I'm doing a lot of structureless tech, and that eats up time, and also just like spending time with family and going places. You know, just in general having a life. So, you know, I haven't quit in a sense, but I'm not gonna be uploading as frequently as I used to at the moment. That might change very soon though. I have a lot I want to make videos on, but it's just finding the time and motivation to do anything. So yes. Anyway, I'm going to leave you, and I hope you have enjoyed. I will answer any questions in my Discord or the description, not the description, oh my god, the comments, and I'll see you next time. Also, yes, I want to formally point out I am a Java player now. Screw you, Bedrock.